everyone, and so good to see you. Welcome back to the show that asks you to pull out your chairs, get out your TTRPG books, and join us at the table. Today, we wanted to do a quick little talk about some of the really cool archetypes that you could get in the Fist of the Ruby Phoenix Paizo Adventure Path.
Yep.
I'm really excited about it. We'll be covering those in a bit, but as always, you have to know who we are, because, who the heck are we? So, Mr. Michael Powell, please tell them who you are and where they can find you on that sweet, sweet internet.
Well, as always, I am the dastardly, dashing Michael Powell, and you can find me all over the internet on my social medias, which is at Mr. Kapow. That's MRKAPAO. And how about you?
My name is PJ McGaw. You can find me all over the internet at pj.mcgaw, Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, Twitter. Come find me, come friend me, and let's have fun.
All right.
Until then, so I'm excited about this.
Mm-hmm.
We're going to be talking about two archetypes. One quick correction. I think on the social media post, if you saw, I did say we're going to be covering the Ghost Eater and the blanking on the other one already.
Golden League Shun.
The Golden League Shun. Quick correction, because I skipped ahead of the game a little bit. We're going to be doing the Golden League Shun and the Sixth Pillar, which I'm actually kind of excited about for some reasons.
Well, they're also these two archetypes. They're both in the adventure path called Ready Fight.
Absolutely, and they're in the Ready Fight one, but they're also a part of the Ruby Phoenix AP. This is going to be one of the books, I think, of the multitude of books called Ready Fight. So this may have some spoilers. I think we're going to try and do our best to navigate around the spoilers.
Another thing, though, is really cool about the Fist of the Ruby Phoenix Adventure Path is, I believe this is one of the few or maybe even first time that Paizo released the entire Adventure Path at once. Usually they release it, in increments, but, well, due to last year's situation with COVID and the pandemic and shipping was delayed, they were like, you know what? Here's the whole thing. All out at once. All out.
That is right. Thank you so much for the correction. Yeah, because they give you the entire book. It is a 1 to 20 campaign, or is it a 10 to 20 campaign? Either way.
Yeah.
I think it's a 10 to 20. Either way, you're going to play as Bad Boy, and you're going to get a feeling of true power of what your character is capable of, as well as a really awesome city, a lot of really great, AAPI kind of setting. It's really cool.
Oh, and one of the things that's really cool, I don't know, I feel I kind of should... It's something that happens at the end of the adventure path that I think we should discuss in either this video or the follow-up video to the Ruby Phoenix series. What do you think, PJ? What do you think?
You know what? I like to leave my audience hanging a bit. Why don't we bring that up the next time when we come back for more? So we're going to get right into it from here out. And again, these may present some spoilers, so we're going to try and talk about the mechanics more than the lore and fluff as much as we can.
Oh, yeah, definitely.
And we're going to start with the Golden League Shun. For those of you at home, Shun in English is spelled X-U-N. I talked to Michael because I was like, I played a lot of Dynasty Warriors. Am I pronouncing it right?
And I looked it up on YouTube.
Exactly. Either way, we're doing our research. We're doing our best. So the Golden League Shun is an archetype. Now, it starts at level 8 with dedication feat. So what's really interesting about this is that you kind of get to have some player build, some character build before you would take this archetype. So you get to kind of see, is this the right archetype for me? Is my build going to be buffed by this? And we will find out just how much. Michael, why don't you start off with the dedication feat?
All right. Well, first of all, you need to get the Golden League Shun dedication. As PJ said, at level 8, the prereq for this is you have to be a master in underworld lore. You are a Shun for the Golden League, aiding the organization. You gain expert proficiency in 2 of the following skills: or in 2 other skills of your choice in which you're trained if you're already an expert in the listed skills. athletics, deception, intimidation, or stealth. In addition, you use underworld lore to earn income or recall knowledge, and when you get a success, you get a crit success instead. Once again, like a lot of these dedications, you cannot take another dedication feat until you gain 2 other feats from the Golden League Shun archetype.
Yeah, and let me tell you what I love about this. Having finally gotten to play this wonderful system a few weeks ago, skill proficiencies is super clutch.
Yeah.
The more proficiencies more skills you have, with the higher proficiencies, the better. The fact that at level 8 you're getting 2 more expert proficiencies in something, really good.
Yeah, and also, what is it? Getting the expert proficiency in athletics, deception, intimidation, or stealth. Those are all skills that you're going to be using pretty much all the time in your games.
God.
Really, these are commonly used skills. When you say PJ.
Oh my God, yeah. I mean, first of all, thank you, Paizo2e, for making perception a mandatory side skill that everyone gets, as opposed to 1e, which is like, oh, fighters, you're not trained in perception. Oh, no, because the tank shouldn't ever have to notice anything.
Yeah, especially if you're going to be playing like an archer build.
Yeah, an archer fighter with no perception. Sucks to be you, bro.
Yeah. Oh, and another thing I also want to point out for those who don't know, a Shun in Galarian and Pathfinder, this is like a Galarian Pacific archetype. You're pretty much a powerful gang enforcer. So kind of think like in Chinese, the Tongs, or in Japan, the Yakuza.
Absolutely, yeah. Trying to give away too much, but you can definitely reflavor this any way you want to, as just being a criminal enforcer, a mafia type. Now, there probably will be more cultural specific things, but like for so far, the basic premise is, yeah, you're basically the street capo.
Yeah.
And the fact, and also I have to say, I love this. The encouragement for downtime roleplay is brilliant. If you use underworld lore to earn income or recall knowledge, if it's a hit, it's a crit. Like, no questions asked, you are making that shmoney. It is so good.
Yeah, and oh man, especially if you're gonna be playing in a a urban heavy game. That underworld lore, so useful, so useful.
Dude, I cannot wait until I can take you all to the Tower campaign I've been working on for like a decade. It is all urban, high fantasy, steampunk, film noir, mafias everywhere. Like, this will be perfect for that setting.
And also, if you watch our show, our actual play show at Edge of Legend, well, my character Rufa is pretty much using underworld lore like all the time whenever they're in a large settlement or a city or a town.
Yeah, I was gonna say, like, if you ever were to like give me your grocery list between the Golden League and the Sixth Pillar, let me know. So next up we have Beneath Notice. Now this takes place at level 10. And this is another one of the feats for this. You have to be an expert, or you have to have an expert in deception, which, if you played your cards right, at this point you literally have no excuse. Like, you're going to get the dedication and get it, or you're just going to get it because you're level 10.
Yeah.
But I digress. You are skilled at hiding from your foes and targets among the common populace. You gain the Quick Disguise and Slippery Secrets skill feats. In addition, while in a crowd, you can impersonate a nondescript member of the crowd as a 3-action activity. 1 action if you are legendary in deception. This is insane.
Yeah.
This is like Ezio Auditore insane.
Yeah, or as I could say, the end scene in the first Darkman movie, where Darkman becomes Bruce Campbell.
Nice. Yeah. This is so good for urban campaigns. My God. Quick disguise. So basically, you disguise yourself like that. If it's a legendary deception, which you should be also getting, you can make a full disguise in 1 action, I think. 1 action or a minute.
Yeah, it's pretty much like what's that one the main character in Mission Impossible that Tom Cruise plays. Like, I just seeing him peel off the face mask.
Yep. Oh my god. And Slippery Secrets is another thing you get, again, for free with this feat. You elude and evade attempts to uncover your true nature or intentions. When a spell or magical effect tries to read your mind, detect whether you are lying, or reveal your alignment, you can make a deception check against the spell or effect's DC. If succeed, the effect reveals nothing. This skill feat, which, by the way, Pathfinder 2e skill feats, chef's kiss, they're amazing. So you get the ability to quick hide, the ability to lie to magic, and the ability to impersonate any member of a crowd to blend in as just 3 actions.
Yeah.
This is so good.
Slippery. Well, for those, once again, not to toot my own horn all the time, but for Rufa's general skill list, because he's an investigator, I get access to a lot of general skills. And Slippery Secrets is one of those skills that's on my list.
Absolutely. So now here's the crazy thing. This is only one of 3 level 10 feats you get to choose of. Actually, well, let's see. 4. Sorry. Yeah. 4 level 10 feats that you get to choose from for this thing. So now the one problem with this archetype, it's really good, but you only get 2 levels of it. So you get level 8 and level 10. But the good thing about that is that opens you up for another feat or to continue leveling with no concern about your character build, your primary character build.
Well, without concern to your for meeting level requirements.
Also true. And because the way it works, let's say you get a feat at level 10 on your main class, but you really want that level 10 archetype class.
Yeah.
You can just take it at 12.
Yeah. Oh, really quick, Avenging Penguin post. Geez, Michael, I believe I ordered the large cappuccino. Mike Myers, so I married an axe murderer. Yeah, that's a very underrated Mike Myers film.
I love So I Married an Axe Murderer. That is such a great rom-com. Also, Van Sexel said, DW is fun, especially the Empire's games. Yes, I'm so glad to know there's another DW fan in the chat.
Oh, and yes, Avenging Penguin. Rufa walks between the shadows.
He does, both morally and physically, and I kind of like that.
Or another way I like to put it is he dances between the raindrops.
Ooh, okay. I like the poetry of that.
I was going to say, I can't take the entire credit for that. That's from some movie or TV show I heard a long, long while ago.
Oh, okay. Well, that does sound like something. Cowboy Bebop? We'll figure it out later.
Maybe. Anyway, our next level 10 feat is called Menacing Prowess. Ooh, I already like the sound of that. Prereq for this is you have to be a Golden League Shun dedication and also an expert in intimidation. Ooh, love my intimidation. Scaring off multiple people at once is your specialty. When you demoralize, you can target up to 2 creatures within 30 feet of you at once. If you are a master of intimidation, you could demoralize up to 4 creatures at once. And if you're legendary, you could demoralize up to 8 creatures at once. So basically, this is a heightened fear spell that's non-magical, that's dependent on your skill proficiency. I love this. This is
that's so good.
What is it? Remember that one movie with I'm blanking on the name of the actor. It's called The New Guy.
Oh, The New Guy. Oh, what is it? That sounds so familiar. Is it the one with Ryan Reynolds?
No. The new. I'm looking this up. DJ Qualls. It's a comedy from way back in the day where the main character, it has Eddie Griffin in it. He gets transferred to another school after an embarrassing situation, and he learns how to pretends to be a badass from Eddie Griffin's character who's in jail. Yeah,
no, I remember. Yeah, Eddie Griffin gives him the stank eye or whatever. Teaches him the crazy eye.
The crazy eye, yeah.
Yeah.
The choosh.
And
you
what
get that
I love
whip
about
sound
this,
effect.
Oh yeah, and it's just, oh god, those movies are great. What I love about this, I'm imagining. Oh God, I want to say it's one of Bruce Lee's classic movies. He does that bit where he's just wagging a finger to a whole bunch of people, like he does, and he strikes a pose, and there's like this tension, and then he
Yeah.
like flexes again, just moves, and like everyone jumps back in terror. Um, and what I love about this is that it really makes you wonder, right? Like if you're gonna play Fist of the Ruby Phoenix, which is combat, role play, puzzle, magic, society, urban, like you're in a kind of like a proto Chinese city, I want to say. Um, you get to ask yourself the question of how can I use this on the streets of, I want to say it's Tian, or how can I use this in the ring? Because you can just look at 8 foes in the arena, just give them like a dirty look, and eight of them are demoralized. That's
Yeah.
insane.
Oh, PJ, I just thought of something. This is such a good build if you're going to be playing a character kind of like Kazuma from one of my favorite Sega franchises, Yakuza.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
I see
Side
that.
mission galore.
Oh yeah. It does remind me a little bit of Yakuza. I also feel like it's also that kind of like anime where like the guy like he's picking a fight, like maybe like one of those fight high school kind of things, and it kind of gives him a look. And everyone's like, "Ugh, this power's so intense," like it's really really good.
Or what do you say? Or you kind of have it in your head that you have the JoJo menacing symbols that slowly kind of float up behind you.
Oh, Muda 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 Muda.
Yeah.
So yeah, no, I love Menacing Prowess because it is something that gives you utility in and out of combat. I'm really curious. I'm going to take Rope Mastery next. This is another 10th level archetype feat to choose from. Yeah, what's up?
Before you do, I just want to jump in chat real quick. Say
Of course.
hi, Pengu-chan. Hello.
Hello, Pengu-chan. Hello. So good to see you, Pengu-chan.
And yes, Van agrees with me. Definite main character from Yakuza vibes.
Oh yeah, I love all the Yakuza games. At least I love the Let's Plays. I really want to go back and actually play them. But I digress. Rope Mastery. This is another 10th level feat that you get to choose from. The prerequisite is, of course, being an expert in athletics. Ropes are your tool of choice, and you deploy them in versatile ways. When climbing a rope, you've moved 5 more feet on a success and 10 more on a crit success to a maximum of your speed. The additional movement stacks with the effects of quick climb. That's really good. In addition, you can use a rope to hamper your foes. While holding a rope, you can attempt an athletics check to disarm. Hold on, one of the cat toys is chirping. To disarm, grapple, or trip a creature up to 10 feet away, instead of only adjacent creatures. If you critically fail such a check while holding a rope, you can then drop the rope to take the effect of a failure instead of a critical failure. So what I like about this is like it gives you, I don't want to say immunity, but at least like a nope against a crit fail. I like the 10-foot reach on the grapple check or disarm, grapple, or trip. I gotta admit, considering like putting rope mastery alongside menacing prowess and beneath notice, like it doesn't hit as hard for me. You know what I mean?
Yeah, no, I totally understand. But also, I kind of want to say, I believe there is a weapon in Pathfinder Second Edition that's essentially the rope and dagger, like basically a rope tied to a dagger or something.
Rope dart, right?
Yeah, I think rope dart, or honestly rope dart, or even even a whip or something. I would, at least as a GM, I would allow my players to have access to all this with those weapons.
I can see that. It's weird though because it looks like this is mostly just rope. This isn't like a weapon. So, basically you can use a rope to tie someone up from 10 feet away, which is interesting because again, this is not a combative thing. Because I think whips and rope darts and everything, they can do these things up to their 10 feet. I guess I think the good way to blend those two is, because you make a really good point, Michael, in my brain, would be to allow weapons that have these traits to do it at 15 feet instead of 10.
Yo, definitely. And also, as the McManus brothers in Boondock Saints taught us, you're always gonna need rope.
You're always gonna need some rope. And speaking of, well, okay, I'm gonna not say that. But what I will say is, happy birthday, Pengu-chan. You are, I think you said it in your own words. You're 1 year older to being the answer to life, the universe, and everything. It is. What is? Yeah, you said it really perfectly, and I want to get it back. 1 year closer, not older. Yes. Either way, happy birthday, Pengu-chan. It's so great to see you on your birthday.
Happy birthday indeed, and I hope you're having a wonderful day.
Yeah, absolutely. And I hope you're having fun with friends.
Yeah. But back to the rope mastery thing. Yeah, I honestly, I kind of want to disagree with you a little bit. I feel rope mastery is kind of on tier with Beneath Notice and Menacing Prowess as part of the level 10 feats, but it will take some work, creative plays, and also a GM that's kind of cool with the rule of cool.
I think so, and I always love Rule of Cool. If there's a moment where, mechanically speaking, it goes against Rule of Cool, and in the moment it makes sense, that you really have to, that's the thing about being a GM. Besides making up all the stories and doing stuff, you're also playing the referee and the judge. Yeah. So that's on you guys. Okay, you did rope mastery? No, I did.
No, you did. You did.
Okay.
I am going to take the last and final level 10 feat of the Golden League Shun feats here. It's called Silent Sting. This is a reaction. The prereq is you have to be part of the Golden League Shun dedication and also an expert in stealth. The trigger is you make a strike with a weapon of light bulk. You quickly hide your weapon to make it difficult to pin the attack on you. I'll say that for later. You attempt to conceal an object to hide the triggering weapon. Your stealth check is compared to the perception DC of all creatures within 30 feet that can see you. You automatically succeed against creatures further than 30 feet. The target of your strike gains a +4 circumstance bonus to their perception DC for this check. If your stealth check is a success, you hide your weapon so well that the creature can't clearly determine where the attack originated from. Yeah, this is pretty much prison yard shanking.
Yep. I was just thinking that.
And then
Drop
you
the
walk.
blade, wipe the hands.
No, you walk away. You have another person walk past you with a newspaper. You drop the blade at them. They put it in a newspaper, and they walk away. And you walk the opposite distance. Yeah,
absolutely.
Yeah, I've seen enough prison movies.
I've seen enough. Yeah, I've seen The Wire. What I also love about this is I like to look at classes and archetypes, mechanically speaking, not fluff and lore speaking, for how versatile they can be across the spectrum.
Yeah.
Like, how can you make a paladin or a warrior or a fighter universal to any culture and specific to that culture, right? I'm really digging the mental image that I keep getting in my head of a rogue who is from the golden, with this basically this mechanical archetype, and making an assassin from Assassin's Creed, because you're blending into the crowd, walking to your target, stab, he's dead, no one saw you, you got away. Like, it's so perfect for Assassin's Creed.
Or also the Hitman from the Hitman series.
Oh yeah, Agent 47. Yeah. It's perfect.
Yeah. I will say this though. Of the 4 level 10 feats we have here, this is what I would give actually for perhaps the weaker of the 4, mainly for the fact that it's super situational. Honestly, you're not going to be using this quite as often as you possibly can with either Beneath Notice, Menacing Prowess, or Rope Mastery. But regardless, this I can also see being super powerful if you combine it with the Rogue's sneak attack, and also the Poisoner dedication.
There is, if I recall, we haven't done a deep dive in the Rogue yet, but there was, I recall, a Rogue I don't remember if it was a trait, feat, or racket, but basically it made you really good at attacking in urban environments, like moving through crowds, squeezing through,
Oh yeah.
things like that. So you could absolutely squeeze through a crowd, blend in, catch them flat-footed, sneak attack, and then plus 2 or 4 to your perception or whatever bonus was. Like, there's a way to use this with amazing efficacy.
Oh yeah.
If you really want it, and if the campaign really would
Allows
benefit.
it. Yeah.
Yeah, like if you're going on like one of those like journey stories where like going all over the world and getting all kinds of fantasy stuff, you're probably never gonna need it.
Yeah.
But if you're in an urban setting, this could be clutch.
Oh, or I just thought of something. If you are in a journey type situation, you also take beneath notice, use that quick disguise, dress up as a goblin, and you just kind of, infiltrate the goblin encampment, and you're just like, silent sting, silent sting, silent sting, silent sting.
I'm just imagining there's like a giant goblin meeting and the hobgoblins call them all to order, and it's like 30 goblins, and every time the hobgoblin turns to like pontificate his speech and looks back, there's like 3 less goblins standing. And he's like, whatever. And then, like, by the end of his speech, he turns. There's just one goblin left, just like, hi, snicked. Ninja vanish, run away.
I'm also imagining that final goblin that's like the not goblin is wearing like a burlap sack and has like a paper bag over his head with like a cardboard cutout of big ears.
I just love, if we're going Pathfinder, I love their goblins. I'm almost imagining someone with like a football on their head, painted green, and 2 big leaves for ears, and they're like, me, I'm goblin.
Oh my god, that's basically Helga's Arnold shrine from Hey Arnold.
Yeah, oh no, yeah, you're not wrong. So, and I also want to mention this one point before we go to the next one. So there's only level 8 and level 10 to this archetype. Now, you may be building what we're talking about, the Assassin's Creed type of character. Just, a good old-fashioned super get-in, get-out rogue, or maybe you're actually trying to build a guy from Yakuza, right?
Yeah.
And a lot of these feats are going to sound really good. So technically speaking, I think GMs would probably be okay with this if I'm wrong. Just because there's like a feat at level 10 doesn't mean you only get one of them. As you level up more, 12, 14, 16, etc., wherever you get another feat, you can go back and take more from those level 10 feats if they really fit your build. You may be giving up something that is more potent, but what I'm saying is the flexibility and the option is there.
Yeah. All right. Well, I guess it's next our next archetype, which is called the 6th Pillar. Do you want to take this dedication for us, PJ?
Absolutely. So the prerequisites for the 6th Pillar: the ability to cast spells, a dexterity of 14, and an expert in acrobatics. As someone who loves Magus, I'm already paying attention to this. 6th Pillar dedication: you use your physical discipline to channel your magic. If your proficiency rank in unarmed attacks is at least expert, your proficiency rank in spell attacks increases to expert. Likewise, if your proficiency rank in spell attacks is at least expert, your ranks in unarmed attacks increase to expert. So, okay, so this is interesting because what this does so far is if you're playing a monk sorcerer, monk wizard, or a magus with the unarmed style, it makes sure that your unarmed strike and your magic are at the same level of proficiency.
I like that.
That's
like
really
that.
good.
Ooh, I just thought of something.
Yeah?
This will also be good for I'm not entirely sure how you're going to do it, but a physical melee oracle or witch.
Could be. I mean, I want to say they're trained in unarmed strikes.
I mean, with witch, you at least get the hair thing.
It's true. Yeah. I love hair witches. So now beyond that, because that ability already is pretty awesome, the ability to have your unarmed strike in your magic to be at the same level of proficiency. But you also become an expert in athletics or in another skill which you are already trained if you are already an expert in athletics. So what this is doing now, this is a level 8 feat. So again, you're going to be getting this down the road, but this makes you basically on par with all your basic stuff. If you have to be an expert in acrobatics to already get this. Now you have the chance to become an expert in athletics, grapple checks galore. If you are whatever class that has only trained in unarmed strikes but expert in magic, that gets buffed up. This is a really, really potent equalizing feat that can really make or break your character build.
Oh yeah. As I said before, actually, I'm actually going to just double down. The witch with her claw attacks, or the witch with her hair attacks, a 6-pillar dedication can be a really good build with what I'm envisioning right now and from what I know. We'll figure it out as we go along, but yeah. Oh, and also, PJ, do you want to read the flavor text of the 6-pillar?
Yeah, I don't think it's any spoilers. The 6th pillar follows a tradition that blends martial arts with magic. Traditionally, this is a way to better focus and harness innate or bloodline magic, but it can be used by anyone who can cast spells.
Ooh. This tells me... Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
Oh, no, and I was going to say, and basically, you can't choose another dedication until you get 2 6th pillar feats.
I was going to say, this tells me the designers who designed this archetype already had a sorcerer as the main class in mind when it said innate or bloodline magic.
I definitely see that being a possibility. I think also here, because this feat does come so much later in the build, this could really apply to sorcerers, absolutely, but monks who took a multi-class in something, unarmed magus, because the unarmed magus build, at least in the playtest, allowed you to basically put your magic into a fist and strike with that. You can't do flurry of blows, but I mean, you're doing a side kick with a fireball. You don't need a flurry.
Yeah.
You won. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So yeah, I can see that.
I would say, for me at least, being a fan of martial arts movies and all that stuff, this is the bride with the white hair. Who also has the hair that actually attacks people.
Oh, okay, yeah. For some reason, my brain went to Kill Bill.
Yeah. Ooh. This would be also awesome if you pair it with the Kitsune ancestry.
Ooh, I like that. I like that a lot. I could see this. I could see this with the Kitsune. I could see this with one of the Genie-kin, one of the Elemental kin.
Yeah.
I think that could be really good too,
Definitely.
because like you're calling upon natural elements, physically. I think of another good ancestry for. Hold up, Elf. Elf would be amazing. They already have a high dexterity and a high intelligence. They already get bonuses to acrobatics. Now they get a benefit to athletics. And there's even elven ancestry feats that just gives you a customizable acid splash cantrip to any element that you want. You already have magic. You already have attacks. You could just be a straight up elf and just wreck with this.
Yeah, or if you want to go really kind of out of the box, kind of uncommon, I can see this working with a pixie ancestry too.
Ooh. Ooh. Yeah, that would be really cool.
Yeah, just
really
imagine
cool.
like a martial arts Tinkerbell, just like boom, 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 and just like darting in and out, like delivering like flying kicks and all that good stuff.
I love it. Yeah, so the 6 pillars, we just got into it, and it already speaks to so much awesome character build potential. It's a great way to do a Gish, what they call a Gish, which is basically a martial character that's also got a spellcasting component. But this definitely speaks more to the unarmed, like hands and feet style of fighting as opposed to like sword and board.
Really quick, I want to jump in chat. This was from our previous answers that we discussed, but I like this. Rufo will shank you, then convince you to hire him to investigate who shanked you. I could see that happening.
I love that. It's like, oh no, you've been stabbed. Let's find the culprit. But it was you. No, just shush. How could I stab you? I'm asking to help you.
And he's hiding the bloody knife like behind him. Very obviously, blood dripping. behind
with
him.
that Golden League shun thing. You're like, stab, throw away the knife. What happened?
Yeah. Anyway, let's jump into the next feat, which is it's a stance. Oh, it's a stance. It's
Yeah.
called the 6-pillar stance. One action. Prereq is you have to have the 6-pillar dedication, and the requirements are you are unarmored, which is pretty much how things go with these stances. But anyway, you stand firm, stealing your mind and body, allowing you to use magic unperturbed. While in the stance, you gain a +4 circumstance bonus to AC against reactions triggered by using actions using the contrate or manipulate traits. In addition, when you cast a spell that requires one or more actions while in the stance, you get your unarmed strikes gain a +1 circumstance bonus to damage.
So,
Ooh.
this is so good. So
Yeah.
basically, you drop in this stance for 1 action cost. You get a +4 AC against any reactions by using actions that the concentrate or manipulate traits. So, like, if you cast a spell and anyone's trying to, like, interrupt you, you're going to be +4 harder to hit.
Yeah.
And then on top of that, when you cast a spell that requires 1 more actions, your unarmed strike is a... So, dude, if you... Oh, I'm telling you, Magus for the win. You drop into the stance, and then if you can do a quick spell thing, I think they get it somewhere around this level. So you take a 2-action spell, you make it a 1-action spell, free action, put it into your fist, 1 action, punch. That's all your bonus damage, all your strength damage, your fist, your spells, and like a little bonus 1 just for the nose flick.
Yeah, or if you go
I want to do that.
if you go the monk route, you could do the whole 2-action spell, and then your last action, flurry of blows.
Yes. How could I forget that?
Yeah,
And
that
both-
and that +1 bonus to damage.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It goes to both of them.
Yeah.
Oh, so good. This is... How is this so good? It's only the 2nd feat. Oh
yeah.
Lordy.
Honestly, this is your... Oh, man. This is your Dragon Ball. This is literally your Dragon Ball archetype.
I know we were talking about that when we did Secrets of Magic last year, about how like the unarmed Magus definitely has a Dragon Ball vibe to it. I want to say the monk has it too with their Ki Blast ability.
This is what's his name? Master Roshi's Turtle School.
The Turtle School. Oh gosh, I remember when we did the deep dive in the monk. One of their level 20 abilities, they legit go Super Saiyan.
Yeah. If you want to make Goku, and you want to take an archetype, this is a perfect archetype to take. Oh, 6 pillars could be Kaioken.
Oh my god.
This is King Kai style. 6 pillars. No, I renounce saying this is Master Roshi style. This is King Kai style.
So far it's good. I don't know if it's Kaioken good, because that also kind of kills you if it goes too hard. Let's see what the 12th level feat does. It's called Maneuvering Spell. It's a free action. Free stuff is always best stuff. Frequency is begin to cast a spell that requires at least 2 actions to cast. You instantly tap into the magical power of a spell you're casting to quickly pounce around the battlefield. You step, leap, or stand. This action can be before or after you cast the spell. That's really dope. That's also really cool because that's exactly like the there's a Magus ability in the playtest. I don't know if it's going to be in the official book, where I think it's called sliding spell casting.
Yeah.
Yeah, and every time you do a spell strike, the minute you put the spell into the blade, you automatically move your movement, which is a great way to kind of skirt around the really wonky way that they do spell striking.
Yeah, I know this because that was the style that my Magus in our Jaspers game used, our Johnny Rage.
That's right, Johnny Rage. No, Benny Rage.
Benny Rage.
Oh, yeah. No, it's funny because when I was doing the Jaspers game days, Corellian long rep, I went with the sustaining steel so that I could try to keep my dumbass alive. But you get the focus spell, Hasted Assault, so you always get a free action to attack. So that also kind of circumvented the issue of losing all your actions. But I love this, that you don't even have to be a magus. You can be a monk wizard or a monk sorcerer, and then you still kind of get that benefit. It's kind of cool.
Oh yeah. Um, once again, just further confirms King Kai right here.
Oh, the touch focus?
Yeah, this is KO Ken. This is essentially still KO Ken.
Well, let's see. I want to see it.
All right. Well, let's check out the next. Our next feat is called Touch Focus. One action. This is a level 14 feat. Prereq is 6 pillar dedication, so really easy to pick up. You can redirect a spell's power through you to deliver it within striking distance. If your next action is to cast a spell with one or more targets and a range further than touch, you could change the range to touch. If the alter spell requires a spell attack roll, you gain a +2 circumstance bonus to attack. This only allows you to touch a single target with the spell, even if the spell originally affected more than one target. After you cast a spell, you can disarm, shove, trip, or strike the target with an unarmed attack.
So this is interesting because, like, I know the thought is, well, why would I want to lose an AoE for a touch-based spell? Or at least a range spell, like if I'm casting Firebolt, as an example, or Divine Lance, that's a better one. I'm casting Divine Lance, right? It's like 30, 60 feet, right? Why would I want to get rid of that range? Well, for starters, you may be too close to get away without provoking an attack of op, right? But what's really, the really juicy thing about this is, by making it a touch spell, you also get a +2 to hit. That's kind of really the meat here. It's like, I'm not going to do a range attack anymore. Instead, I'm going to do a +2 to hit and just hit you with the spell.
I'm wondering, would this have any this cause any troubles with spells which has kind of a AoE effect like Fireball?
That's, I think it does, because it's not, the language is too broad. It says anything with a range farther than touch. Fireball definitely has a range farther than touch. So you can touch with a Fireball spell. But it only affects the one target. It's not going to still have the 30-foot radius or whatever.
I also want to say, because the last sentence here says, after you cast a spell, you could disarm, shove, trip, or strike the target with an unarmed attack. I believe this is all part of that single action. This is how I'm reading it.
Let me read, because this is a one action. Okay, so this is a one action manipulate metamagic feat. Effectively speaking, when you cast the spell, you spend an extra action to basically make it a touch spell with a +2 to hit.
And then right after, you could then disarm, shove, trip, or strike. So essentially, you're casting a spell to hit your opponent, and then follow it up with a disarm, shove, trip, or strike, which I think, especially if you have a lot of stuff stacked up with your unarmed strike, this is actually pretty nice. And also, shove and trip. I love these actions that, honestly, everybody could do it, but for some reason people usually don't. They just try to attack multiple times.
It depends on how you're like what your focus
Tripping
is. Like,
so
is
good.
it
Tripping
like, is it better to trip them, or is it better to just do damage and end the fight sooner?
Yeah,
They're both valid strategies.
Or, just shove them off a cliff. Like right after that, cliff, push.
I just love this is such a great workaround feat. This is such, because, like, again, like, the thing about the magus, who can already kind of do stuff like this already, is that you have to spend 2 actions to cast a spell, a free action to put the spell into your blade, and then you have to spend another action to hit them with that spell. And you have to roll a buttload of times to do all this. And I get it, because after doing 205 damage, I see why these things are put into place. But this is such a workaround for every class, not just the magus, monk, sorcerer, wizard, fighter, I don't know, whatever. But this is so...
PJ.
A sorcerer with a martial arts archetype, this is insane.
Yeah, PJ. Combine this with flurry of blows, and then with that one final action, whatever. Because Flurry of Blows, 2 attacks. And then Touch Focus, that's another attack with another attack. You got 4 attacks, and then you got your third action. That could be even another attack. You got 5 attacks right there.
Well, now slow down a bit there. That's not entirely correct. So, like, the casting a spell is going to take 2 actions if you're 3. And then the touch focus is another action.
Oh, okay.
So that would be 3 actions to do a spell and a strike. However, I don't know why I'm blanking on this, but I want to say, is Flurry of Blows a free action? I don't remember. I don't know why. I can't remember. We talked about this at length.
Look it up then.
It is an action.
Yes,
it is an action. So,
1 action.
So you would not be able to do this with Flurry of Blows, and that's important. Also, I don't think it would be too tragic because you're still doing, like, let's say, whatever level of Fireball is a pretty safe standard. No, let's go a little higher. Polar Ray, 10d8 damage plus Drain, right? It's a gnarly spell. Penguin Witch Doctor does say yes. Flurry is an action. Thank you so much for confirming. And also, Caleb Roudskull, thank you for joining us, Caleb. I don't think we've seen you in the chat yet. So great to see you, Caleb. They say Flurry is 1 action, but it's Flourish, so you can't do another Flourish. Yes.
But I would say,
I don't think it was correct.
I would say, though, Touch Focus is not a Flourish action.
Yeah, but they were saying you couldn't do, like, 2 flurries in 1 round.
No, I'm saying Flurry and Touch Focus, and then with your third regular action, whatever else.
True. In that case, possibly, but you wouldn't be able to cast a spell. Is kind of how that turns out. But look at it this way, right? Polar Ray, 10d8 plus Drain 2. That's so much damage. It is insane. And then you cast that with Touch Focus, so that after you cast Polar Ray, you're then throwing a punch right behind it. Still just a bit more damage since it's a d6 plus 5. Why not? So bam, that's 10d8 plus Drain 2 plus 1d6 plus 5. That's way more powerful than 4d6 plus 20.
True. I'm actually wondering, is there a cantrip that only uses an attack range cantrip that only uses 1 action? Kind of curious.
I don't know about a cantrip that's 1 action. I do know, though, if you choose the Magus, and I know I keep hitting that, let me tell you guys, when Secrets of Magic comes out, you will know, because I will be like a child on Christmas. But the Magus does have an ability later in their build that lets them cast a 2-level spell a 2-action spell as a 1-action spell. So in that case, again, a Magus 6th pillar is so good.
I mean, if there is an attack spell with range that allows you to do so, I still say if it meets those requirements, I believe you still could do Touch Focus and Flurry of Blows.
If there was a 1-action cost spell, 1,000%. 1,000%. Really fast, Caleb Roudskull says, I have met them, but this is a secret identity. Secret identity. Oh, now we have to play the guessing game. But that's later. Last but not least, this is the 16th level feat, 6th pillar mastery. This is, of course, the we talk about it all the time, the last one, the capstone. This is your capstone for this archetype. It ends at 16, which is good because this thing is already crazy powerful. Let's see what it does. Your greater discipline aligns your magical and physical potential. Oh, it's just a perfect upgrade to the very first feat. If your proficiency rank in unarmed attacks is at least master, your rank in spell attacks is master. And then vice versa. If your spell attacks is master, your proficiency rank in unarmed strikes is master. So at level 16, you are guaranteed to become masters of both unarmed combat and magic casting. So this is so good. Now I think at level 16, a Magus does get mastery of both naturally, I want to say.
Maybe. But
a sorcerer, there you go.
Yeah, sorcerer, a witch, or oracle. Yeah.
I mean, hell, a wizard.
Yeah,
even.
wizard.
'Cause I want to say wizards are trained in unarmed combat, but they're not like they never get better at it.
Yeah.
But now you can definitely start jumping over a lot
Oh.
of things with that.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, you could go with once again the whole. If you want to go the route of what is it, King Kai. Like I said, this is a Kaioken archetype, at least from what I'm seeing.
Yeah, I'm seeing people in chat. Penguin Witch Doctor saying Monk Sorcerer would be a lot of fun. Casting a 30-foot radius with the touch is very dangerous.
Yeah.
Yeah. Thankfully, though, I believe rules is written it loses the AoE and it becomes only a touch single target affecting spell. So thankfully, you're not caught in your own fireball because that's a bad way to go.
Or if you want to go Chao Zu on someone.
I mean, at that point, grapple check and disintegrate. Just really do it right. Yeah, no, I love this sixth pillar archetype. This is
Really interesting.
I mean, it's really cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, because I'm thinking about obviously Magus because Magus is built for combat to do sorcery and fighting at the same time. So this definitely enhances that some more. A wizard with unarmed combat and maybe even a feat or two to get slightly better melee damage. A monk sorcerer. God, that would be delicious.
I'm still jumping on that witch class, a witch 6th pillar, especially with a witch has their Eldritch claws, the nails, which can already deliver spells through them if you take certain feats or the hair attack.
I like that. Although, I think the thing that we have to consider, just to make sure it's okay, is like they get the claw attacks and they get the hair attacks. Are they trained in unarmed combat?
Yeah.
Or is that a natural weapon that's treated like an unarmed strike that they have proficiency with?
I believe they stated that Let's
see. The witch is trained in unarmed attacks. Yeah, in theory, she could absolutely do this. The hair and claw weapons, I think, are Yeah, they're unarmed attacks. I'm not gonna fight it.
Living hair.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm looking up living hair right now. It's hair. You gain a hair unarmed attack.
Okay.
Yeah,
that's perfect.
And Eldritch Nails. See, it says your nails are supernaturally long, sharp. You gain a nails unarmed attack.
Armed attack that deals 1d6 slashing damage. Yeah, so absolutely could. And they benefit from the hand wraps of mighty blows.
Yeah.
So 1,000% correct. You could have a witch, and that's I just looked at the page. I want to say the witch striking with the nails, it's like a level 6 feet, level 4 to 6 feet. So by the time your witch is 8th level to get this feat, they would qualify to become a 6th pillar witch.
Oh, definitely. That's why I'm like, you know what, witch could be a really good build with the pillars.
Yeah, that is, especially if you take the time to like use the feats for the claws. I think I like the claws a little better only because you can put a hand wraps of mighty fists on them and make them a magical weapon, up their damage with a striking dice, even give like shocking runes and stuff.
True, but with the hair you get range.
True, you do get range. I don't think the damage increases, and I don't think mighty blows really hand wraps mighty blows works for it.
But also with the hair, the visual of like your hair just becoming like kill style attacks.
You know what? I think we have to look at it like this. It gives range, but it does. What you get in range, you sacrifice in damage, right? Because you're going to be doing a lot more damage with the claws, because of the magical weapons. Either way, you have amazing options, and the 6th pillar archetype is insanely good, especially if you want to play a potent, unarmed striking Gish fighter. Looking at the chat, Caleb, because we're trying to figure out who Caleb Routskald is, and he was the person, or I'm sorry, they were the person that wrote the Morlona fanfic I want to say around our 10th episode when we had the Q&A fan session. I remember that one. I remember it well. I think Sydney even read it.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm gonna poke her and be like, hey, remember that story?
Yeah. You know what? I think we have a little time, because there is another stance that's going to be as part of this book. I believe we actually could go into. What do you think, PJ?
A stance or an archetype?
It's a stance. It's a feat. It's a feat. Stance feat.
Oh, from the book? Yeah, sure. What is it called?
It's called the Jellyfish Stance.
Oh, Lord. Is this a monk stance?
I believe so. Yes, it's a monk stance.
Oh, my God.
Like I said, this is a level 6 feat. The requirements are you are unarmored, you relax your posture, and loosen your joints. Allow yourself to move with incredible fluidity. You can make stinging lash attacks that deal 1d8 slashing damage. These attacks are in the brawling group and have the finesse, long, non-lethal, reach, and unarmed attacks. While in Jellyfish Stance, you gain a +2 circumstance bonus to reflex saves and checks to escape and squeeze.
I'm not gonna lie, that's actually pretty damn good, but it's so goofy.
Hey, I can see this being actually really useful in a grapple build.
Oh my God, yeah. It'd be really great for an anti-grapple build. It'd be amazing for an anti-grapple build. It's also really good for the monk in general. It gives you more damage. It gives you an effect. I think it's stun, right? Or is it shocking?
Slashing.
Slashing. But there's an effect. I thought I heard.
No. It's finesse, non-lethal, reach, and unarmed traits.
Reach is still good. The non-lethal kind of worries me. Only because, like...
Well, non-lethal, you could switch. You could switch between lethal and non-lethal.
I mean, yeah, but, like, I feel like it has the non-lethal trait, meaning that it can only do non-lethal, because that's usually what that means. And the big thing about the monk is that normally their unarmed strikes can be lethal or non-lethal, but they don't... I don't... Either way. That's still a really good stance. The D8 damage, how much is the reach? 10 feet?
Yeah.
Yeah, the 10 foot of reach, getting out of grapples, like, that's really good.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I only say it could be useful in a grapple build, meaning for the fact that if you're a grappler, you always get that chance that someone's going to try to get out of the grapple and grapple you back.
Yeah, just the slippery, the Zoidberg stance, if you will.
Oh, yeah. So that is the new stance in the Fist of the Ruby Phoenix adventure path called Ready, Fight.
Yeah, now, before we go to probably take a break and then come back for a build with you guys, I do want to give a shout out. If these archetypes sounded really cool and you want to see, like, what's the Golden League all about? What's a Shun really like? What does a sixth pillar look like in action? What the heck's the Ruby Phoenix? One of the many good friends in the Paizo universe is actually going to be starting up an entire campaign, playing the entirety of the Fist of the Ruby Phoenix adventure path with an entire cast of AAPI players. And the person, you can find them on Twitter at QM Spence. That's at QMSPENCE. They are the DM for the Drunk Geek podcast, and they're going to be starting a whole bunch, like a whole new channel for this campaign and for these AAPI players. So if you really want to see more about this, go check out the Drunk Geek podcast and keep your eye on QM Spence's Twitter to get more information when they have all that set up. We'll probably check back in with QM Spence when we do more stuff. Oh, yeah. But just want to put out that love there, so go check it out.
Yeah, I love all that. I really do. We need more games like that. Also, 100%. PJ, do you mind if I jump in? There's some new equipment, but I only want to jump into one equipment because I think you'll get a kick out of this.
Oh, okay. I'm nervous. Let's see what it is.
It's called the Apricot of Bestial Might.
Apricot of Bestial Might?
It's a level 16 item, 2,000 gold pieces. It's held in one hand, bulk of large, and to activate it is one action to interact. This yellow fruit's soft flesh is covered in a waxy, fibrous leaves reminiscent of a pineapple. When you eat an apricot of bestial might, you transform into a boar-faced battle form with scaly skin. You can use feats with this item as if it was a bestial mutagen, improving your tusk unarmed attacks as if it was a claw or jaws attack. Benefit, you gain 8 resistance to all physical damage and gain a tusk unarmed attack with deadly D12 trait that deals D10 piercing damage. The drawback is you become clumsy 1, and if you perform an action with the auditory or linguistic traits, you must succeed at a DC 5 flat check or the action is lost.
So first of all, I want to jump in the chat because Penguin Witch Doctor was like, devil fruit? and my brain went immediately to One Piece. This is, first of all, that's insane. This is a transformation, right?
Yeah.
Like you take this and that is insane. Resist 8, all damage. You get a D10 weapon with a D12 deadly effect. And it can be either a claw or a bite. And you get, honestly, a DC 5 flat check to use linguistic-based abilities. That's very easily beaten. Like, there's still a chance you're going to fail. But you have a 6 up. Like, that is really good.
I mean, if you just go straight monk or barbarian even. Oh my god, I just thought of this. Barbarian, giant instinct, and then you take this.
I think, I don't know, because I feel like at that level, the barbarian would probably be getting a similar benefit. Honestly, though, I think you made a very good point. Well, not a very good point, but you read something very important, that this could be used with feats related to mutagens.
Mm-hmm.
Imagine an alchemist, or an alchemist who bites into this, and now you have a secondary barbarian, but you also have someone who's getting more benefit out of that fruit because of all their mutagen feats.
Yeah, this is, it has the polymorph trait, and mutagen trait, and elixir, consumable, and alchemical.
So it is consumable. So basically, you use it once and it's done. You have to get a new one, right?
Yeah.
That's a really good. It's I have so many feelings because it's really good, but it's $2,000 to get a new one every time.
Or honestly, I could even see this could be like a side quest, and your party just like stocks up on a bunch of these fruits at some mystical tree, and then go back to the main adventure and there's this giant orc blocking our path. Don't worry, guys. I got this.
Yeah.
Crunch.
Oh no, it's a Netton. Oh no, I'm hungry. See, I'll be honest. When you first mentioned the apricot of beastly might, I thought
Bestial.
of bestial might. I thought of Peach Boy. The Legend of Peach Boy. I want to say his name is Momokun, but that can't be right. I don't think that's right at all. But the Legend of Peach Boy, how he's kind of like this really awesome Japanese Hercules. Japanese, right?
Yeah.
Cool. That's what I thought. I'm like, oh, that's such a cool, like, pull. You know what I mean? Like, eat like a giant peach, become like a swole boy.
Caleb is correcting us. It's Momotaro.
Momotaro, thank you.
And Penguin Witch Doctor.
Yeah, thank you. Momotaro. Thank you. Momotaro. Momotaro. I had to get that right. Yeah, he's a cool dude. His story's really kind of cute. It's like, honestly, I feel like Studio Ghibli would like knock that story out of the park.
But yeah, I saw this item and I looked into it and got a laugh. I was like, I think PJ would dig this. I
absolutely dig it. I love it for alchemists. You know, like, oh, I already have like a level 16. Like, oh, I already have so many mutagen feats. What's this? Yes.
Oh yeah.
I shall bite.
And also, for anybody out there who wants to check out the other equipments in this Adventure Path Ready Fight, there's also the Cape of the Open Sky, Headbands of Translocation, Sky-Piercing Bow, Stormbreaker Fulu, and Tusk and Fang Chain. So there's a lot of really cool stuff in this thing.
Oh, I love the sound of all of those. And I heard Sky Piercer bow.
Yeah.
And first of all, we need more magical bows in Pathfinder. That is a flat fact. But also, like, I started thinking of like this. That was this the flying general in the sky piercing halberd of Lubu, and I'm like, I want that. I want it.
There's also 8 different monsters and 3 vehicles: the Sky Chariot Heavy, Sky Chariot Light, and the Sky Chariot Medium.
Please tell me it's like the little wheels you put on your heels and you fly, because that's so dope.
I think it's an actual chariot.
Oh my god! And this is what I love about these when these compendiums come out, because like normally, like, you know, the other guys, they throw out a compendium, and if you're lucky, there's like some stuff that you can take that's like very deep in there, but it's so specific and usually kind of underwhelming unless you're dealing with like Strahd.
Yeah.
But what I love about this, it's like, hey, do you just want like a bunch of really cool stuff that you can use in every game? You should buy literally anything that we release, because it's always got like sick ass upgrades.
And I kind of want to bring in a guest one day, maybe after we finish all the other archetypes and stuff from the Phoenix Adventure Path. Check out the monsters, because they actually have some monsters from are based off of real world lore.
Ooh, you know what? And this is just us this is us having a conversation while you're watching.
Yeah.
We should see if we can get Eunice again.
Yeah.
'Cause I know that she was really big on lore and monster mythology.
Yeah.
So that'd be great.
And also we'll have her pronounce all the stuff.
She'll do a better job than me.
Yeah, I'm not confident. I'm not confident in some of these names.
So the only reason why I had like any bit of the caucasity to think I could pronounce Shun is because I spent the past decade playing Dynasty Warriors, which, in all fairness, really tried their best to get the Chinese pronunciations as close to accurate as they could.
I will say this, actually. Do we have time to go into one? Oh, or should we say this if we do this with Eunice?
Oh, the monsters?
Yeah. Because there's one monster. I'm just going to say the name.
Okay.
Provisional Shang-Chi. Those are the hopping vampires. They have the stats for the hopping vampires. And Eunice,
that's so good.
If you want to actually go to her YouTube channel, she did an entire video on the lore of the hopping vampire. Really good watch.
Yeah. Oh, Penguin Witch Doctor came in the chat. Speaking of real world lore monsters, give me my puppy kobolds back. Yeah.
Actually, you know what? We'll go into that. It's an upcoming video. Saying
About puppy. Is that a Mr. Powell original there?
No. This is it's part of one of the recently released books.
Oh, I know exactly what you're talking about.
Yeah.
Yes, we will be going back to that. Yeah. It's so funny you mentioned the puppy kobold, because I was also thinking about for those of you, I'm just going to date myself here a little bit. For those of you who remember the arcade game, the Dungeons and Dragons arcade cabinet game, basically it's a side-scroll and beat 'em up where you play as different classes. Back when dwarf was a class, and or elf was a class, one of the two, and you could like pick up magical potions and use them and cast spells like ultimates, and it was fun.
Yeah.
Anyway, long story short, too late. The first little guys that you got training on were kobolds. You're running through a town, you're beating up Shadows over Mystera. Thank you, Caleb. Yes, that's the one. Shadows over Mystera. And so you're running on doing beat 'em ups, and the kobolds in that game, I don't know if this is what you're referring to, Penguin Witch Doctor, but the kobolds in that game looked a lot like basically like puppy dog children with like a little horn sticking out of their head, and they were like little idiots like barking and yipping. They were they looked like that like the Digimon, the bunny rabbit dog with the machine gun hands. You know what I'm talking about?
Yeah. I think that's from the second series.
Yeah, it was when the Agumon was like a red one.
Yeah.
Yeah, they all kind of blend together eventually. But yeah, but like that's where my brain went.
But yeah, no, seriously, at this point, I really recommend getting the Path of the Ruby Phoenix books, because there is a lot of really good stuff in here.
Yeah, there is some really cool stuff. If you grow up liking anime, like 1980s fight movies, or if you just want to get into a very cool story about combat and a city and survival and all, pick it up. Again, shout out to QM Spence on Twitter. He'll have more details when he's got the whole thing ready. But you get to watch them and a buttload of awesome AAPI role players play the game, including two people who actually worked on the book. So that's also going to be exciting.
Oh, I also want to point out in the Ready Fight book, there's even an article called Rise of the Kaiju.
What?
And they introduce Kaiju as a trait.
Okay, all right. I'm about to lose my mind.
Just saying. Yeah.
Train everyone. And that was the two amazing archetypes from the Fist of the Ruby Phoenix. Thank you so much for joining us in. And again, if you want to catch the stream from one of our friends in the Paizo verse who's going to be doing this amazing campaign, please check out QM Spence on Twitter. That's at QM Spence on Twitter. And also this person is the GM for the Drunk Geek podcast. And when they get more information as to what the channel is that's going to be running this all AAPI campaign, we'll give those information to you right then and there. But without further ado, let us say adieu. Mr. Michael Powell, please tell them who you are and where they can find you on the sweet, sweet internet.
Well, as always, I am the dastardly, dashing Michael Powell, and you can find me all over the internet on my social medias, which is at Mr. Kapow, that's MRKAPAO, or my Facebook page, which is facebook.com/Michael Powell Does Stuff, because I do a lot of stuff like my YouTube channel, Fantastic Tales of Adventure. Or check me out on Thursdays at 6 p.m. Pacific Standard Time on the Toyzilla Network channel for Toyzilla Live, where we talk about toy news and nostalgia stuff. So it's a lot of fun, and I hope to see you there. How about you, PJ?
Hi, well, you know me. My name is PJ McGaw. You can find me all over the internet at pj.mcgaw, Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, Twitter. Come find me. Come friend me. Let's have fun. And when I'm out here with Michael on Tuesdays, 3:30 to 5:30 p.m., you can find me, him, Kylie, Sydney, Sam, and Ian for Edge of Legend, Wednesdays, 8 p.m. Pacific Standard Time for our Pathfinder 2nd Edition homebrew show. And a little fun announcement, this Thursday I will be streaming with Ashy the Bard on twitch.tv/The Bard's Playhouse, along with some fans of tabletop that you may know, like Puffin Forest and Blue Collar DM, and of course our good friends Waffles from Waffles Maple Syrup. So tune in about 6:30 p.m. Pacific Standard Time to the Bard's Playhouse just to see us all have a good, goofy time. Might be a little R-rated, so put the kids to bed first. Until then, I look forward to seeing you here, same Nat time, same Nat channel, at the table.
Bye.
Bye, everyone. Bye.